I mean, I can't tell people what to post or what to say. But Nicki Minaj damn sure needs to stay away from anything, posting anything about kids, trans or otherwise. She supports a dude that is on the Epstein list 1,000 times. She's actually married to a registered sex offender, a pedophile. She shouldn't be able to watch Jason Kidd or listen to Kid and Play or New Kids on the Block. Hell, she got to walk around the aisle with Cabbage Patch Kids on it. And she damn sure should stay away from Sour Patch Kids. And it ain't Governor Newsom Nicki needs to be worried about. It's Chris Hansen.
Nicki Minaj sent shockwaves across the internet after newly unsealed Jeffrey Epstein file surfaced, exposing deeply disturbing information. Almost immediately, insiders claimed she severed ties with Donald Trump. Now, Nicki Minaj is facing one of the harshest public drag sessions of her career, and many are saying she brought this on herself. It feels like the entire world has turned against her. And the latest, it didn't come from just anyone. It came from Samuel L. Jackson, throwing unmistakable shade. And if there's one thing about him, he never bites his tongue. According to Samuel, Nicki has absolutely no idea what she's walked into. He's calling her out for being completely oblivious to the reality that Trump and his mega circle are treating her like a disposable pawn. They're not laughing with her. They are laughing at her. And the worst part? She doesn't even realize it. There's a difference between being famous and being publicly played in front of millions. This is an entirely different level of humiliation. Samuel's message couldn't be clearer. Nicki, wake up before it's too late. Now let's be real for a moment. Samuel L. Jackson has never supported Trump. Not once. He's been relentlessly outspoken for years, openly blasting his policies, dragging him without hesitation, and making his stance painfully clear. Remember when Representative Rashida Tlaib called Trump a mother of asterisk and demanded his impeachment? Samuel immediately backed her up online. He famously said, calling that mother for asterisk a mother for asterisk isn't the problem. Calling that mother for asterisk president is. And yes, he even added a hashtag suggesting some people are too awful to deserve an insult. In interviews, he's gone even further, openly stating that this man is destroying the planet and repeatedly calling out celebrities who choose to stay silent.
Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work.
Hello, guys. I'm with my favorite president, the best president of all time.
And I'm with the queen of rap.
His words were blunt. If you're not speaking up, then you're complicit. That statement hits even harder now that Nicki, Snoop, and Nelly have all been getting uncomfortably close to Trump. When Samuel was recently asked whether his opinion of Trump had softened at all, he didn't pause for a second. In his eyes, Trump is still the absolute worst. And when it comes to black celebrities supporting him, Samuel says they fall into two categories. Either they're afraid, or they're straight up bootlickers chasing a check. But Samuel didn't stop at politics. He added a deeply personal perspective. Growing up during segregation, he says he always knew exactly who didn't want him around. And when he looks at Trump, he sees the same energy, the same rednecks, the same people determined to keep others in their place. Republicans, in Samuel's view, don't care about young people, LGBTQ+ communities, or anyone outside their own circle. And that's what makes Nicki Minaj's full-blown mega pivot so painful to watch. Samuel laid it out clearly for anyone paying attention. The Republicans Nicki is aligning herself with don't even like her. They don't care about her music, her influence, or her loyalty. She isn't an ally to them. She's a token, a perfectly packaged black female conservative used to improve their optics. And the moment she stops being useful, she's finished, discarded without hesitation. Meanwhile, Nicki is walking around convinced she's making strategic power moves, when in reality, she's a joke. A perfect example came during a Recent Trump account summit in Washington, D.C., when Trump took a slick jab at Nicki's finances, and the room full of white men burst out laughing. At her, not with her. And there she was, laughing along, believing she was part of the joke. Nicki Minaj may still have the platform, the voice, and the fame. But right now, she's being played, and the entire world is watching it happen in real time.
Here's what Nicki Minaj had to say. She wrote, "Your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up." And yeah, she's not the first person in Hollywood to say that. I just don't know how much could be in our face anymore before we wake up and realize these people are ruling over us, and they win when we're fighting with each other. That's just the reality. I really don't see how you can have a ton of success in Hollywood and not be in the club, because Hollywood was founded upon this. I just don't really care what you call me. It's time for everyone to wake up.
It's honestly wild because Nicki seemed completely unaware that everyone in that room views her as nothing more than a prop, a polished token meant to push their agenda. And here's the real kicker. The very same Republicans she's publicly cozying up to were openly trashing her back when she wasn't on their side. Take Charlie Kirk, for example. This is the same guy who relentlessly dragged Nicki, constantly labeling her as a negative influence on young girls. And now she's twisting herself into knots to impress the exact people who once shaded her without hesitation. The irony is off the charts, and honestly, it's painful to watch unfold in real time. Think about this for a moment. Has a conservative white woman ever stood up and lectured white girls about making black girls feel insecure for being black? No, never. And yet here we are, watching Nicki completely flip the script. During her appearance at Amfest alongside Erica Kirk, she went into full lecture mode, arguing that black girls aren't showing enough respect toward blonde, blue-eyed white girls. She even went as far as suggesting that white girls are somehow the real victims, claiming their looks are being unfairly minimized. The whole moment was shocking, confusing, and honestly kind of heartbreaking to watch. Nicki has gone from cultural icon to, well, the woman defending the very people who spent years openly shading her. At any point in the history of the United States, has the beauty of blonde, blue-eyed women ever been ignored or disrespected? Absolutely not. That beauty standard has been worshipped, celebrated, and upheld as a so-called ideal for decades. And yet here's Nicki acting like white girls are some kind of oppressed group whose looks are being overlooked or undervalued. But then again, public embarrassment clearly doesn't faze Nicki anymore. Everything she's done recently feels like one long, ongoing humiliation cycle, and somehow she keeps leaning further into it, convinced she's coming out on top. It's peak cringe, peak irony, and honestly, peak chaos unfolding in real time. We all remember when Nicki was openly anti-Trump, labeling him evil, calling out his immigration policies, and standing firmly against his agenda. Fast forward to today, and it's a total 180. Nicki isn't just cozying up to Trump, she's sucking up to everyone in his orbit. Case in point, just the other day, she jumped on X to congratulate Trump advisor Alex Brutes. On his wedding, she posted, "Congratulations to my dear friend Alex Brutes and his beautiful wife Carolina on getting married today. My dear friend, come on." Let's be real, Nicki probably didn't even know who this guy was 5 minutes before posting that. And now she's praising every random mega figure as if they've been lifelong friends. And let's not forget, this is the same Alex Brutes who has been making bizarre, offensive statements for years. Here's the guy who once hired a comedian to call Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. And Nicki, being from Trinidad and Tobago, does she really think these mega figures genuinely respect her? Come on, we all know exactly how they feel about her when the cameras are off. Just like Samuel L. Jackson said, "When I see Trump, I see the same rednecks I grew up around, people who tried to keep me in my place." But Nicki, she refuses to see it. Instead, she's out here auditioning for approval from people who wouldn't shed a single tear if she disappeared tomorrow. So, what's really happening? Does she truly not understand the political game? Or is she deliberately ignoring the fact that the mega crowd despises her? Let's be real, she wasn't clueless before. She was publicly anti-Trump as recently as 2020, openly calling out his behavior and policies. Someone flipped a switch. Now, rumors are swirling that Nicki may have been compromised in some way. Maybe MAGA has leverage over her. Some insiders are even pointing to her family, her husband, and her brother, both convicted rapists. One is on the ex-offender registry, maintaining for life, and the other is serving 25 to life after being found guilty of a horrifying crime against his stepdaughter. It's dark, it's messy, and it adds yet another layer to why Nicki's current mega tilt looks so desperate. Online chatter suggests she's suddenly shifting alliances and cozying up to political figures she once seemed worlds apart from. And let's just say, the industry is side-eyeing hard. Comment sections are ruthless, blogs are messy, and people are openly calling this a desperate image pivot. Some fans defend her loyalty, while others are clowning non-stop, saying the entire saga feels like a PR circus spiraling out of control. Amid all this chaos, one name keeps popping up in the background like a narrator who's been waiting for the perfect moment. Cat Williams. Certain political groups love pulling random clips of him out of context to push their own narrative. But anyone familiar with his comedy knows he's been roasting Trump and MAGA culture for years with zero hesitation. This is the same comedian who went viral for calling out reckless pandemic rhetoric and mocking what he described as clown-level leadership during serious times. His jokes didn't just poke, they sliced, turning political chaos into brutal punchlines that left audiences gasping. And according to fans watching this current mess unfold, Cat is probably somewhere laughing, because this drama is playing out like a live comedy special in real time. Between viral clips, chaotic debates, and relentless industry whispers, this entire saga has morphed into a full-blown spectacle where everyone has an opinion and nobody seems willing to log off anytime soon. Suddenly, the queen of female rap, once untouchable and dominating every chart, looked like she was writing a masterclass in self-sabotage. Social media and industry insiders went wild, some even labeling it straight-up loser energy. Because let's be real, when your moves scream desperation, there's no way to sugarcoat it. And now, here's where it gets truly messy. If Nicki had always been a mega-friendly figure, maybe no one would be raising eyebrows. But the truth is, she went from publicly dragging Trump, calling him evil over his immigration policies, to now twisting herself into a full-on contortion act just to impress MAGA supporters. And here's the kicker, the MAGA crowd doesn't even like her. Harsh, but true. They would deport her in a heartbeat. As of January 2026, Nicki Minaj still isn't a U.S. citizen. Born in Trinidad and Tobago, she moved to the States as an undocumented immigrant and confirmed back in 2024 that she has no U.S. citizenship. The irony? She's bending over backwards for a crowd that literally has zero reason to show her any mercy. Well, the only thing is I'm not a citizen of America. Isn't that crazy? You a citizen of where? Trinidad. Oh, you're Trinidad? Yes, boy. I was born on a beautiful island called Trinidad, but I've been in the States for many years. You'd think that with the millions of dollars she's paid in taxes, she'd have received honorary citizenship ages ago. Landale. Okay, and here's where the drama hits peak chaos. Remember that young man from Jamaica that Nicki once spoke to? His life was literally on the line because of his sexuality, and he was seeking asylum. He was a huge fan of hers, got on her live stream, and she offered advice and support. Real human compassion in action. Fast forward to now, and Nicki is out here throwing homophobic slurs at Don Lemon while praising Trump's immigration policies. The irony is brutal. This is textbook loser energy, especially coming from someone who once openly dragged Trump for the very policies she now celebrates. Let's not forget, Nicki has publicly acknowledged her own undocumented status before. Back in 2018, she slammed the Trump administration over family separation, writing, "I came to this country as an illegal immigrant at 5 years old. I can't imagine the horror of being in a strange place and having my parents ripped away at age 5. This is terrifying. Please stop. Can you imagine the panic these kids feel right now?" She even threw shade at celebrities going MAGA in 2020, saying she wasn't about to hop on the Trump bandwagon. And yet here we are, January 2026, and Nicki is now holding hands with Trump, calling him a favorite president ever. On Wednesday, January 28th, she made a full spectacle at the U.S. Treasury Department Trump Account Summit in D.C., declaring herself Trump's biggest fan. She even shared a video on X, claiming he's the best president of all time. The transformation is staggering. From ally the oppressed to full-on Trump cheerleader, leaving the internet reeling and gossip pages licking their chops. One user dragged her by sharing headlines about her husband and brother, captioning it, "Birds of a feather flock together." Another asked, "Did you get the pardons yet, Savage?" And someone even shared a photo of Harriet Beecher Stowe's classic Uncle Tom's Cabin, asking if Nicki was planning a modern remake. But the chaos didn't stop there. When fans pointed out that Nicki still isn't a U.S. citizen, she clapped back, essentially admitting she's using her cozy new relationship with Trump to fast-track citizenship. She wrote, "Residency, the cope is coping, finalizing her citizenship paperwork as we speak, as per her wonderful, gracious, charming president." Thanks to the petition, she claims she wouldn't have done it without him. Oh, citizen now, you are the moment. Gold Trump card free of charge. Translation? She's openly cheating the system while simultaneously throwing shade at immigrants who don't have her money or connections. Peak irony. Now, check the footage from the Trump summit. Nicki is surrounded by a sea of MAGA Republicans. Look closely. Does it look like any of them actually want her there? The lack of self-awareness is staggering. You can practically see them laughing at her, not with her, while Nicki beamed completely blind to it. Peak loser energy. Folks, in the bigger picture, Nicki literally built her empire championing immigrants and marginalized communities. Yet here she is, proudly backing a man whose policies actively harm those same groups and tear families apart. Is this ignorance or full-on moral collapse? I want to hear your thoughts.